My aunts would always warn us, like, don't go swimming in this month.
So what happens if you go swimming?
You drown? Welcome back to Cooking with Steam. Today we are preparing for Ghost Month. It's known in Taiwan as the month where the gates of the world of the dead and the world of the living open. So it's a time to take very special care because these ghosts, or 好兄弟, good brothers as we call them, you know, they're looking for things. They may come into your house, they may possess your body. What we want to do is keep them satisfied. So in Taiwan, you'll often see altars outside full of snacks and offerings. One of the 好兄弟's favorite snacks is actually taro cakes. Part of the reason is that this time of year is the time that taro is at its peak. So today I'm going to show you two very traditional taro cakes, one made with long grain rice and one made with short grain rice. And we're going to put those on our altar outside for our good brothers. So the main ingredient for today's episode is taro root. So we have a beautiful giant taro root. It's actually like an underground stem, although a lot of people think about it as a root vegetable and toxic if it's not cooked. So I've got my heavy duty, dirty latex gloves that I use for this kind of thing. So the skin may irritate you. So I'm just gonna use my handy dandy vegetable cleaver. So I'll just cut off this end here, cut it in half. There we go. Try to follow the contours of this stem and remove all the skin. It's a little tricky with the gloves on. Now that you've got most of the skin off, you can actually handle the taro without worry. Just make sure that I wash my hands well after. So here we have our mostly peeled taro. So I'm just going to cut it into a small matchstick. So now we have these nice little French fry looking things. In our family group chat, my aunts and uncles would always warn us, like, don't go swimming in this month. And I remember being like, but it's August. I'm definitely gonna go swimming.
So what happens if you go swimming?
You drown? I'm calling it taro mochi, but in Taiwanese it's ōo-kué-khiáu. ōo-kué-khiáu. Did I say that right, guys? So the batter is pretty easy. The one thing that you want to do is, okay, I'm gonna start over because I've got taro on my hands. Not the toxic part. Okay, so now we're ready to make the batter, which is kind of like making a rice milk and then almost pressing it in the same way you would a nut milk. The first thing that we need to do is actually just soak the rice at least 4 hours before, a little bit of glutinous rice, and then also short grain rice. So this is called peng mi, which is the classic sticky Taiwanese rice. So just add a little more than you think. And these rices are from our friend Xiangkaolu, and they are sourcing artisanal rices from Taiwan. And they're really working to preserve and lift up the rice farming industry because it's a major part of Taiwanese agriculture. Okay, and I have the rices soaking already. You can kind of see they've expanded a little bit. So if you look at this, the grains have definitely absorbed water. Strain these into one colander. And then I'm gonna put this in the blender. And the portion of rice that's roughly 5 parts ponglai rice to 1 part of the nuomi, the glutinous rice. So the kind of cool thing about making rice flour yourself is that it's not actually an exact measurement. You just want to fill this up to about 1 centimeter above the level of the rice. If you do a little more, it's actually okay because you're going to strain out all the water anyway. So it's just to make sure you get a good blend. Yeah, I think this is looking good. It just looks kind of like rice milk. And then we're going to strain it in a nut milk bag. So we're going to sort of slowly squeeze out the liquid. Okay, so that's pretty close. I'm actually going to let it drain on its own while I stir fry the taro. So this is my trusty seasoned wok. Had it for many years. I'm gonna let it get a little bit hot. I'll put some peanut oil in it. You could use any neutral oil. I love this peanut oil. It just adds a warm flavor and also has a high smoke point. So it's great for stir frying. And I'm just gonna let this fry up until they get a little bit golden. So I'm gonna add Taiwanese frost salt, and I'm gonna kind of do this to taste. Some white pepper. Smells really good. So you can see that this is starting to get like a little bit sticky actually. So some of the starches from the taro are cooking. I'm gonna use shallot oil, which we sell in the shop. It smells really good. Okay, so we're kind of getting there. I'm gonna mix this directly with this now finished draining rice batter. It's, yeah, crumbly, but also kind of supple. Sometimes I find that store-bought rice flour, especially in the States, kind of has like a musty smell, but this just smells really fresh. It smells just like, yeah, almost like the sweet smell of like horchata or rice. So I'm just kind of crumbling it up.
It looks like feta.
Oh, it looks like feta. I'm fed up. Mom's got dad jokes. And I'm just going to introduce this into the mix and just start to mix it up. And then I actually want to introduce a little bit of water. You have to be kind of careful with this, so I'm actually just going to get my hands a little bit wet and then introduce it that way. So this is a bamboo steamer basket. You can line it with parchment paper or a steamer cloth. I'm going to use a little disposable parchment paper. It's very important that these are actually shaped kind of like a crescent moon. In temple in Taiwan, there's 2 red blocks shaped like a crescent moon that are used for fortune telling or communicating with the gods. Those are called bye-bye blocks. So this references that shape. So now we're ready for the steaming step. I'm gonna use the Datong electric steamer and a bamboo basket. We're aiming for a 20 to 30 minute steam. So for a 20 to 30 minute steam, I'm just gonna do like a 1.5 cups of water. We can always check it at the end. I'm going to start the machine. Let's take a look and see how they turned out. They look great. So you can really see how the dough has changed into something a little more translucent. These are actually excellent steamed. So if you're not interested in frying these or just want to eat right away, you can just have them now with a little bit of salt. This is taro cake or ōo-kué-khiáu. This is a cake that's made with taro and mi. So this is long grain rice, the original rice pre-Japanese colonial era in Taiwan. You don't see it as much on the dinner table, but it's absolutely essential for making Taiwanese rice-based pastries like this one. We're going to mix the taro and the rice with water in the blender. This rice has been washed and soaked. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt just for a little extra flavor. You want to make sure that your taro is all ground up. It's actually got just a slightly pink color, which is kind of exciting, mixed with the rice. So we're going to pour the rice batter into this loaf pan. This is just some nonstick spray. You can grease it, use parchment paper. And I'm just going to pour half into the loaf pan now. We're going to put the steamer plate into the datong. We're going to pour a little bit of water. It's just 6 minutes. And then I'm just going to drop this loaf pan into the steamer. And then we're going to start steaming it. And I think I need to plug this in. This wok is actually already hot. I'm adding some peanut oil in. And then here are the beautifully cut taro shreds. A little bit of salt, also some white pepper. And once they have some color across them all, I'll add the shallot oil, the similar flavor profile. And then I'll let the taro fry in this for a little bit, and then we're good. Okay, so now we're gonna check on this partially steamed, partially filled cake. Put that right on my cutting board. We want to actually score the top of this cake because we're gonna pour more batter in, and we don't want the 2 layers to not be connected. I dropped this on myself. If we put this right in here, it's gonna be too greasy, and the layers are gonna separate. So we're gonna just mix a tiny bit of this taro rice milk in with the taro shreds and just give it a little bit of a mix. Add the taro matchsticks into the loaf pan. And then I'm gonna take this remaining rice milk or taro milk, I don't know what it's called, and pour it right on top like that. Okay, so now we're gonna steam it for about 20 minutes. Full cup of water, should be plenty of time. So the main thing you want to do is just test for doneness. So if you can put a chopstick in or a toothpick and it comes out clean, this is good. And then I'm actually going to take this off of this surface and I'm going to try something. I'm going to put it like this. So I'm just going to flip it like this. Voila. You can see that the 2 layers have kind of come together. I'm only going to slice up what I want to pan fry today. The rest you can actually keep wrapped up in saran wrap in the fridge or freezer for another day. The next thing we're gonna do is pan fry these with the other ones. So I've got the wok hot and I'm going to first heat up some oil. This is camellia oil, which is great for frying. Has a light hazelnutty flavor. Ooh, like that. We're gonna let these brown a little bit. We don't want them to burn, so just babysit them. This is the point where I'd be like checking my phone, DMing people on Instagram. Do you put taro in your hot pot? So this is looking pretty good on this side. You really do want it to be kind of golden. Again, kind of like a hash brown. You want it to feel like it's been pan fried. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so I'll wait for you to say action and then I'll start.
Action.
Okay, so we've got the finished, fried, beautiful taro cakes here, made from scratch completely with just taro and rice and water. It's really amazing. 2 different forms. So this one, I really like it just with a little bit of salt. The temptation is going to be to dress it, but I think just to have it plain. I'm going to try to say the name correctly. So in Taiwanese, ōo-kué-khiáu. No, ōo-kué-khiáu. So here it is. So good. This is incredible. It's chewy on the inside. The taro texture comes through. The outside is crispy. It's very natural tasting. It's just salt and pepper. I love it. It's super good. So now let's try the second one. This is the taro cake. I'll put a little bit of cilantro on it. It's also nice to actually drizzle soy paste on it. This is sweet chili sauce, Nyonya sauce from our shop. You can drizzle that on. Okay, so. It's so good. Also has that taro flavor, but a completely different texture from the different type of rice. I'm gonna use the hash brown word again, where it just has this really fresh floral flavor of the rice mixed with the earthy taro. The little matchsticks that we cut give it texture, because otherwise it's pretty uniform. With the spicy sauce and the taro and the cilantro, it's perfect. I made these to feed the spirits, but I think, you know, cheesily, it also feeds my own spirit, because taro is one of those ingredients that's actually native to Taiwan and has been part of Taiwanese food culture for thousands of years. And so in making these ingredients using Taiwanese rice, I really feel like I'm getting to know Taiwanese agricultural crops. And I really want to thank my friends Teng Wei and Pei Yi, who are the ones that have brought us this rice. They also taught me these recipes. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. See you next episode. Bye.